Good afternoon, Mr. Musigidi.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Thank you. Perhaps if the warrant officer could just go through the statement and then let the probing come afterwards. We are sure we'll try to do our part in that regard.
Indeed, Chair.
Thank you, thank you.
Warrant Officer Mahane, we are about to talk about the arrival of Warrant Officer Pakula. That will take us to page 8 of your statement, and then we can resume at paragraph 21, when it says, upon Warrant Officer Pakula's arrival. Can you pick it up from there, please?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. Upon Warrant Pakula's arrival, we then briefed him about the scene, and as protocol, we handed the scene over to him for further investigation and processing. Warrant Officer Pakula requested me to cordon off the scene and also instructed me to call LCRC. Sergeant Doe assisted me with the tape to cordon the area off, and he also called LCRC office. While busy at the scene, more police officers from different units started arriving at the scene. Amongst them, I can mention the following. Warrant Officer Rikotso from Crime Intelligence. He arrived and started asking if we have any authority or any inquiry file registered that gave us any permission to effect the arrest. He was causing some obstruction and distracting us from doing our work freely. He specifically said that Major General Feroz Khan from Crime Intelligence was coming to the scene. I'm not sure what he wanted us to do with that information. So we ignored him and proceeded with our duties, but there was a lot of police members, security officers, and civilian members at the scene, which made it difficult for us to work. Colonel Moloi from Crime Intelligence also arrived at the scene, and she was more than happy about the arrest and even complimented of the good work that we have done. Lieutenant Colonel Malulega from DPCI National Office arrived together with Warrant Officer Masoma, also from DPCI, as they were summoned by Warrant Officer Pakula to come and assist us with the scene. Sergeant Pakula and Sergeant Sape came together from Provincial K9 unit as part of our team. Major General Khan arrived immediately after Warrant Pakula and I think Commissioner said I was supposed to say after Sergeant Pakula and Sergeant Sape.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And the situation got out of hand. Upon his arrival, Major General Khan went straight to the warehouse and met with the Scania management. And after that, he came back to us and ordered us to stop with our operation. He asked who was the driver of the buggy, which was loaded with the black bags, and I answered it was me. He then instructed me to go inside the buggy. Then a big argument ensued between Major General Khan and Chief Mashaba, whereby Major General Khan ended up disarming Chief Mashaba of his service firearm and stopped the guys from dog unit from searching the warehouse. I was made to sit in the car while I was photographed as if I'm a suspect. Members of DPCI from Jamestown and Johannesburg arrived at the scene with Major General Kadwa, the provincial head of DPCI. There seems to have been a briefing between Major General Khan, Brigadier Sukhobela, Lieutenant Colonel Mabaso, and Captain Sibula, wherein after that, Warrant Officer Pakula, Chief Mashaba, Mr. Nku, and myself were arrested and put at the back of poisoned SAPS buggy, which was driven by Sergeant Ndo and Constable Mukwambiri. We were kept at the back of the buggy for some times. At some stage, we were then taken from the back of the buggy to observe the counting of the drugs. To our surprise, we find that already 10 bags were already opened. Brigadier Skhovela, Captain Dale, Captain Sibula, the arresting officer, are the one who were in charge of the counting, or in counting the drugs. Each bag had 35 small bricks, and a total of 350 small bricks were counted from the 10 bags. We were then taken back to the back of the buggy and driven to Poison's station for detention before the counting was completed.
Before you moved to your arrest, you had deposed to another statement, and that statement will appear on page 3. I want you to go to 373 of the exhibit bundle. Your statement starts at page 370, but I just want you to look at 373. Now, on that statement, I want you to focus only on paragraph 23, 24, 25, where you speak of your encounter with General Khan. Can you just read that into the record?
As a result of General Khan's unprofessional behavior and obstruction, the driver...
No, sorry, just that paragraph up, ne?
Which one?
Paragraph 23.
While busy at the scene, a certain Indian male who was later known to me as General Khan of Crime Intelligence arrived with his crew, and all hell broke loose. As he started giving instruction, he asked who was the driver of the black Nissan buggy, and I told him I was the driver. He then ordered me to go sit in the buggy. I did as instructed, and General Khan, started calling us Zotsi police and said, he's going to teach us a lesson. I was not even allowed to move and talk to my colleagues, not even to go to the toilet. I was escorted. Different police officers, among the Colonel Mawaso, came to interview me and explained to him how I got information and came to the scene. I was also interviewed by Brigadier Sekhovela, and later a certain gentleman who introduced himself as Captain Sibula placed me under arrest. Photos were taken of me while seated in the car. As a result of General Khan's unprofessional behavior and obstruction, the driver, Brighton Mtembu, who was already placed under arrest, was released. The lady called Jolene and Cornelius were no longer cooperative. Information on who the receiver was no longer pursued, as we were now considered as suspect.
All right. When you say General Khan told you to sit inside the car, how long did you have to sit inside the car? Rough estimate.
I was made to sit in the car I'm not too sure as to what time did the general arrive, but I was made to sit inside the car for almost 2 hours.
And how was it in the car? What was the situation?
The situation was uncomfortable. I was sitting there, the sun, it was hot and everything.
And you also mentioned in that paragraph that you had to be escorted. What does that mean?
At some stage, commissioners, I wanted to go to the toilet, or yes, to the loo. So one gentleman who arrived with General Khan escorted me to the law, back to the park.
Did you feel that you couldn't leave at your own volition or accord?
I beg yours, Commissioners?
Did you have a sense that you could not just leave unattended?
That's correct, Commissioners, because that's correct.
All right, let's then go back to your statement. I want us to go to paragraph 23. So we are on page 10. So you go back to your statement file, and then you talk about our arrest and detention. That's the topic there.
So must I start at paragraph 23?
Yes, start with we were detained.
We were detained at Boysen Station for a weekend until Monday, the 12th July 2021, when we appeared at court. While at Boysen Station holding cell, we were told allegedly per General Khan instruction, Kadwa, that we were not allowed to have visitors, water and food. I'm referring to the food that were coming from outside.
Or not the prison food, but from the visitors.
Yeah, from the visitors.
Are you allowed to have food while you're in prison from the outside?
No,
Generally?
No.
Okay.
We were told that on Monday at court, the control prosecutor was refusing to place the matter on the roll until General Kadwa came to the court and insisted that the matter be placed on roll. The case was postponed for Tuesday, the 13th of July 2021. We were transferred to Johannesburg Correctional Services, which is called Sun City Prison. We were then remanded in custody for another 7 days for a formal bail application. During the bail trial, Captain Sivula testified that we were arrested for allegedly stealing 700 kg of cocaine. The presiding magistrate asked him if the exhibit were weighed and what method of weighing was used, of which Captain Sivula could not answer. The magistrate also suggested to him that Captain Sivula and his team rushed to arrest us prematurely. Again, he could not answer. We were ultimately granted bail on the 21st of July, having spent almost 2 weeks or 13 days in custody. I was then suspended in terms of Section 43(2) of the SAPS Act 68 of 1995 from the 9th July until the 21st. This type of suspension is applied when a member is arrested and incarcerated. It is a suspension without salary or allowances. My suspension was then uplifted after I was granted bail, and I resumed my duties on the 22nd July 2021. I was then suspended again for a period of 6 days in terms of Regulation 10.3 of SAPS Disciplinary Regulation of 2016 from the 30th September until the 20th November. I was charged with the following 3 charges departmental. 3.1, Regulation 54F, corruption. Regulation number 3.2, Regulation 54G, dealing in drugs. 3.3, Regulation 54, defeating the ends of justice. The chairperson of the disciplinary hearing, Brigadier Nevoulu, found me not guilty on all charges on the 7th February 2022. Attach. Then can I proceed?
Do you want to go to that ruling or you want to proceed? You can.
I don't know. You direct me, Ekun.
Okay, let's proceed. If you want to come back to it, we can. But let's proceed to the next paragraph. And that will be 31, under the topic Poisons, CAS 25210 of 2021.
Poisons CAS 252 of 10/2021, defeating the ends of justice and obstruction of police officers from executing their lawful duties. This case emanates from our arrest and detention at Aeroton as overseen by General Khan, Major General Kadwa, Brigadier Skobela, and Captain Sibula. After a thorough and proper consultation with our legal representatives, we then decided to open a case of defeating the ends of justice against all members mentioned above. The case was transferred to IPID National Office for investigation. After a lengthy, slow investigation by IPID, the matter was taken to the Deputy Public Prosecutor's Office in South Gauteng for decision. Advocate Chauke's office decided not to prosecute the suspect in this matter, and amounts reason given were that this matter was just a misunderstanding between different law enforcers, which was contrary to the reason or motivation given by the same office of Advocate Chauke when we presented our representation for our case to be withdrawn. IPID then recommended that all members who were involved in our arrest must be charged departmentally. General Khan was charged separately and members of DPCI were not charged. The departmental hearing of Major General Khan was presided by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhonazi, the KwaZulu-Natal provincial officer. I testified during those proceedings dealing with the event aforementioned. Major General Khan was found not guilty for defeating the ends of justice and other charges. What I found concerning is that while the commissioner was still deciding on the verdict of Major General Khan's matter, DPCI issued a report that cleared all their members. At the same time, there were media reports that
I think when you go to paragraph 34, it's a repeat. So what you can do is that if you go to, at the same time, you see on that paragraph, then you can pick it up from
Perhaps
there.
what we should do, Advocate Msikiti, we must just scratch out the first paragraph 34 on page 12, and he reads the complete paragraph 34 on page 13.
That seems to be practical. Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo.
So, Warrant Officer, just go to page 13 and read that paragraph in its entirety.
from the beginning.
Yes.
34 years. Thank you.
IPID then recommended that all members who were involved in our arrest must be charged departmentally. General Khan was charged separately and members of DPCI were not charged. The departmental hearing of Major General Khan was presided by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhonazi, KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner. I testified during those proceedings dealing with the events aforementioned. Major General Khan was found not guilty for defeating the ends of justice and other charges. What I found concerning is that while the Commissioner was still deciding on the verdict of Major General Khan's matter, DPCI issued a report that cleared all their members. At the same time, there were media reports that the witnesses of Major General Khan's hearing, which is us, were facing an imminent re-enrollment of their case. Our case was provisionally withdrawn on the 12th November 2022. I know and understand the contents of this statement. I regard the contents of this statement to be binding on my conscience. I have no objection in taking the prescribed oath. That's the end of my statement.
Thank you, General Warrant Officer Mahani. Can I just ask you, when you spoke about your arrest and detention. What are the charges that are proffered against you? I think you read the charges that were proffered against you departmentally. In terms of the criminal proceedings,
If I remember very well, dealing in drugs was one of the charges. I can't remember very well.
Officer, you don't have to guess. Please go to page 19 of the annexures, item 6, after your statement. The charges are there.
These are the departmental, it's a departmental outcome of expeditious process against number. That's my service number. Must I also read the service number in?
No, don't read that. We have
Okay.
we have those charges. I was asking about the criminal charges. Perhaps for complete sake, go to page 276 of the exhibit bundle.
Yeah, notice of rights in terms of the Constitution, Section 35 of Act number 108 of 1996. You are being detained for the following reason: dealing in drugs.
Yes, I wanted to find out were there any other charges added to that subsequently.
No, it was only this one.
Okay. And then you mentioned that at paragraph 24 of your statement, that someone informed you that General Kadwa had issued instructions that you are not allowed to have visitors, water, and food. Back to your statement, yeah.
Paragraph 24.
24, yes.
Yes. While at Boysen Station holding cell, we were told, allegedly as per General Kadwa's instruction, that we were not allowed to have visitors, water, and food.
Yes, what I'm asking you is that, is there a reason to believe why would General Kadwa issue such an instructions?
Because obviously we were treated or presumed to be high-profile suspect, and that's why no visitors were allowed and water.
And also, you gave, you read in on the record that you and when you say we, because you say we opened a case against General Kadwa and them, can you explain exactly who the we is?
We is the four of us that were arrested. That will be myself, Chief Mashaba, Warrant Officer Pakula, and Mr. Tumelonku.
And the complaint was against who? Can you remember all of them?
The complaint was against General Kadwa, Major General Kadwa, Major General Khan, Brigadier Sekhobela, and Captain Sibula.
Why would you open a case against, is it General Sekhobela?
General Sekhobela, yes.
Yes, why would you specifically open a case against General Sekhobela?
Because she was also active in that scene.
But being active does not necessarily warrant a criminal case being opened. There has to be more than just being active.
This was based on her seniority, because she was a senior to Captain Sibula. So, by so saying, we assumed that maybe the instruction might have coming to her.
And I think for the record, it's Brigadier, ne?
Brigadier Sekhobela.
Sekhobela, yes, I think we
Yes.
have to keep that correct. It's Brigadier.
Brigadier Sekhobela.
Yes,
Yes, I'm talking about her.
yes. All right, and then you say that the charges were withdrawn against you in November 2022. What is the current position of those charges as we speak?
The current situation in regard to those charges, the case was finally, we made a representation to the NDPP's office through our lawyers and advocate.
Chauke.
No, not the one who passed on. He was working at NDPP's office.
Is it Dikok?
Advocate Dikok, may his soul rest in peace. He is the one who decided on our matter. So the charges were finally withdrawn.
And that was in 2022.
That's correct.
Now, if you go to, on the very same file, the statement file on page 33, so the statement file you have with you,
Yes, I've
Yes.
got it there.
you see that there's a letter from the Director of Public Prosecutions,
I see it, Commissioners.
and the letter is directed to Major General E.A. Kadwa.
That's correct, I see it.
Yes, and this matter, it relates to the request for the re-enrollment of the docket, Poison's case number 9807-2021. And that's the matter, or the state versus Mohana and 3 others.
That's correct, Commissioners.
And you see that the last paragraph on that letter, it says this: the office has decided to prosecute the suspect in this matter. This matter will be enrolled as soon as practically possible once the pending investigation have been finalized. And then it says on the next page, the investigation officer must please consult the advocate dealing with this matter as soon as possible. And then the letter is signed by J.M. Serepo. What is your understanding of that letter, Warrant Officer?
My understanding is that this matter, the case that was finally decided, or which was finally withdrawn by the NDPP's office, there was, I don't know where is this letter coming from, that the matter must be re-enrolled.
Have you been contacted since the letter in February 2025
No,
about the possible re-enrollment?
not at all, Commissioners.
And this letter before today, were you aware of it?
Yes, I was aware of this letter.
How did you become aware of that letter?
I can't really remember whether it was from our legal representative that is dealing with our litigation.
Can I just clarify? You say Advocate de Kock withdrew the charges in 2022.
That's correct, Commissioner.
There's a letter which talks about provisional withdrawal. The provisional withdrawal was in October 2022.
No, can I just clarify that? Commissioners, the provisionally withdrawn one, this one was pending the representations that, because we first made a representation to DPP's office at South Gauteng, but the representation were declined. So we then escalated our representation to NDPP's office. Then, while we were waiting for the representation, our case kept on being reminded. Then the judge said she was no longer happy about the unnecessary postponement. So as a result, the matter was provisionally withdrawn, pending the outcome of the representation from the NDPP's office. However, the date for the trial was set. It was arranged. But before the trial could even started, then we got good news that our case has been finally withdrawn from NDPP's office. That is how this matter was buried.
Mr. Msikiri, do we have a letter that confirms that final withdrawal?
No, Commissioner Baloi, what we have is it's an order, that order of provisional withdrawal, nothing else. Perhaps to warrant Mahane's benefit, there is a letter that was sent by his attorneys to follow up on this alleged re-enrollment. But that letter was never responded to, but that letter it was sent in 2025 in May.
Is it the one on 29?
And it's the one from BDK on page 29 of the statement file.
Yeah, but that letter speaks, from the attorney, speaks of a provisional withdrawal while awaiting the decision of the National Prosecuting Service. And then it speaks in paragraph 3 of correspondence in 2024. So it doesn't mention a final withdrawal in 2022.
Yes, that's as far as we can take
That's
it,
what,
Commissioner.
yeah.
We're not aware of anything further than that.
Thank you.
Commissioners, sorry, can I just clarify something? I think I've shared this with the findings by Advocate de Kock with the evidence leader. So I don't know, maybe he might have missed it, but here is the ruling from the office of the NDPP.
Just wait, I'll try and direct you to that. That should be the outcome of the representations and providing reasons why the state is not prosecuting. Is that what you are referring to?
Yes.
Yes, no, we
Does
have
that not
that.
have a red pagination top right-hand corner?
I beg your say, Commissioner.
Does it not have a page number? A red
No,
page
this one I just said.
You took it from elsewhere.
No, yes, but I shared
All
it,
right,
the evidence
all
leader.
right,
So
all right.
luckily I had,
Look at the date on the last page of that letter. We will tell you if it's in the bundle or not. Is it 21 June 2024?
It is in here.
yes.
Yes, then it's on page 23 of your annexures. After item 8.
Oh, sorry, Commissioners, I've got it.
It is the
Yes.
same letter.
Yeah.
This is the same that I'm talking about.
Yes,
I don't know
so
if,
it is in the bundle.
oh, my apology, Commissioners.
No problem.
That's fine. The question is, is there anything you want to say about that letter? Is there anything you wanted to highlight to the commission?
Commissioners, I'd like to take the commissioners to paragraph 6.6. This talks to the reasons as to why Advocate Kok decided to withdraw the matter. Captain Sibola allegedly alleged that Sergeant Doe's marked police vehicle was parked in such a way to block the way for Mohana's vehicle, that is a black Nissan buggy, not to leave the scene. 8.18. During the consultation with Mr. Bretz, it became known that photographs were taken by Scania personnel when the container was open. The said photographs were sent to Mr. Bretz, who made them available to the state during consultation. Among requests by the prosecutor, it is clear from the photographs that there was no vehicle blocking the way for Mohana's vehicle not to leave the scene.
Upon request, not among.
Commissioner,
Please continue, please continue.
further, the photographs show the moment before the containers were opened until the contents were removed, clearly indicating that Scania's personnel were not prevented from the accused from taking photos, and suggesting that nothing untoward was taking place at the scene. Ms. Wenzel also confirmed that there was no interference from the accused when they were taking photos. It would have been impossible for the accused to deny the existence of the drugs in question at a later stage and to deny the allegation makes against them. Sergeant Sape stated that photo album was incomplete as their vehicle was also photographed during the incident, which was done on the instruction of Warrant Officer Ricoto. Warrant Officer Wood was confronted with this allegation, and she stated that upon her arrival at the scene, which was already at 11:45, there was such confusion and utter chaos. As a result of the size of the parking area, Warrant Officer Wood could proceed to take photos to the scene as she would normally do. When they finally allowed her to to start the entire scene was a stuff-up, and there was no control whatsoever. She was informed that only the buggy was involved, but later it was said that the two more vehicles were involved. She stated that initially it was everybody was involved, then nobody, then somebody. The scene was a joke. She also indicated that she only left the scene at 2 the next morning. Further, warrant officer Wood denies that she took photographs of Sergeant Sape's vehicle. The seals that were photographed in the accused possession.
May I just find out, warrant officer, whether you're going to read all the way to